game. Maybe Murray Jokic here. 13 seconds, plenty of time. Nuggets down 1. Into Murray. Here we go. 10 seconds. Murray to Jokic. Dump it under. Millsap. Jokic. Put it up.
Let's go!
Let's go! Remember the moment like it was yesterday.
We're back, baby. We're back.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into the DNBA live show presented by Manscaped.
Your balls will thank you.
Your balls will thank you.
Well, yeah, we have to really work on our new presenting sponsor intro there. Really poor form. I am Adam Madas.
Your balls will thank you.
your balls will thank you.
Is that a delay reference? That's next level.
What if he is actually...
He might be. He might be.
a minute delayed. Look at him just staring at the computer. This is incredible. Let's find out. Seated below me, it's Harrison Wind.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
This is going to be a great show. I can already tell. A much needed great one. All right, Harrison, we'll make sure to lob questions to you well in advance. We start talking. Seated over to my left, wearing the Rockies hat, it's D-Line & Co.
Here I am, wearing the Rockies hat. Let's go. Schedule out, baby. I'm ready.
And then all the way down here in the corner is Brendan Vogt.
Hey, what's up? Melo was overrated. The gig was back.
Guys, lots of stuff today. This is the first show, I guess, peeking behind the curtain. This is the first show that I haven't, obsessed over the planning of, which maybe will come back to haunt me, but it's just because we actually have basketball things happening today. The NBA has begun to leak. They have a plan, and they're going to announce that plan, it sounds like, tomorrow after they meet with the board of governors. That's just a fancy way of saying NBA owners, and ratify it, make sure it finalize everything. And it sounds like the plan is for basketball to begin at the end of July. First off, everybody, Harrison, you can answer this in a few minutes. Are you guys excited? I mean, were you excited when this came across your desk today or got across your phone?
Go ahead. You tell us first, Brandon. What were your feelings on this?
Oh, man, I don't want to be a downer. It's tough to really let the serotonin flow right now, you know? Just if I'm going to keep it a buck.
Sure.
100%. If I 2 weeks ago, I'm stoked, right? Today, it's almost hard to think about. But, yeah, man, it's better to have something rather than nothing, for sure.
Yeah. It's also nice to just not have to have that thing where we just have news to news. I mean, this is that where we just have news leading to news leading to news. But
right.
to have something
this one
that
feels like the final boss,
The final boss of Woj updates.
We've had all the fake... This is not your princess is in another castle moment. This one finally sounds like, all right, we're there.
I did feel it, though, a little bit today. I had, a little zing of, oh, wow, yeah, I got to, remember who the Nuggets are. I can't wait to actually see them again. That seems crazy.
That clip you played in the beginning got me stoked. It's funny because I joked, all right, what happens? And then we see him dump it off to Millsap. And in my head, in real time just now, I was like, oh, they don't have enough time. There's no way they get something off. I love that play.
I know. I feel so far removed from basketball joy that,
God.
It's, hard to fathom and take yourself back into that place. But
and
now it does sound 2 months is so long. I mean, we are a long ways away. We're talking about the end of July. So that is, we're excited, but that is 7-8 weeks, which we all know a lot can change between now and then. But let's get into the details because the NBA's plan is very different than what we talked about last week when we were talking about them kind of getting close to a final plan. And here's the idea. 22 teams coming back. There's going to be a regular season, and the reason for this regular season, it's going to be 8 games. Every team, including the Nuggets, are going to play 8 games, and the reason is twofold. Number one, and first and foremost, and I think most important, the NBA wants money, as I think is understandable. They have contracts with all of these local sports networks, including Altitude, that says, hey, we're going to give you a certain amount of games. Oh, look at that graphic. Oh, this is beautiful.
Wow.
Not sure we're ready for it just yet.
So I didn't actually mean to put it on the screen, but let's look at it anyway.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
We'll put it up later. We'll put it up later.
No, but they want money, and they have these contracts with local sports networks, so they're going to get 8 more games. And also, it provides a ramp up to the playoffs, which I think was much needed. Some type of they're not quite exhibition games, but they're they're whatever. But also, and we know this, the NBA wants Damian Lillard, Zion Williamson. They want those guys to have a chance to get into the playoffs. And even if they don't make it into the playoffs, they get to play games on television for people to watch again. First of all, I mean, this is my impression. We've been talking about this internally for a long time and reading up on it and hearing from other people. But is there anything, I guess I'll ask Harrison, we'll see how this goes. Harrison, is there anything in that, is that more or less sort of the motivation for doing things the way that they have decided?
Obviously, it's the entire motivation. If the NBA was putting safety first, they would go straight to the playoffs with 16 teams. I think everybody knows that. But they're not putting safety first. They're putting money first and, thinking about safety shortly after that. So not surprised, but that's definitely where the motivation is. It's the money, of course.
They're abiding by the law, safety third. That is their
They are. I mean, this is the same league that was going to play a game, and yes, we know a lot more about coronavirus now than we knew a couple months ago, but this is the same league that was going to play a game after Rudy Gobert had already tested positive. So I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Cynical viewpoint, but that's the correct perspective. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Harrison was on this weeks ago. There's no question as to why they're trying to squeeze extra gains in here. Yeah. I will say I've come all the way around to agree with Eric, though, that I'm glad to have an appetizer first.
Yeah.
Not just for the players to warm up,
I love it.
but even for some of the reasons we talked about at the top here, for me to warm up as both a media member and a fan and just get through that initial, basketball's back. Who knows what the world will look like then, So we might have to work this back into our lives a little bit.
Totally.
It's been so long since we've had anything like that.
Yeah, we could get the bends from going right into the playoffs.
Precisely.
No doubt
from nothing to oh my God, if we don't win this game, we're down 0-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah, my heart can't.
First game,
and I gotta be professional in a suit. That's a lot.
It's true though. Nuggets, if they start 0-2, it's gonna feel what the heck is going on?
Right.
Totally.
But that is because so there's. I want to get through some of the other, sort of the way this is going to work. But there's 8 games regular season. We're going to talk about that for the Nuggets extensively today. But I'm just going to go overview. Then after those 8 games are played, the regular season. I'm putting air quotes. The regular season will be over. After that, there is a play-in, or you can call it the first round of the playoffs, where the 8th seed, whoever finishes with a record in the 8th seed, has to beat the 9th seed one time before the 9th seed beats the 8th seed 2 times. This is a little gimmicky. It's a little weird, but you don't get it. You understand how it works, though, right?
I understand how it works. I don't get why we're doing it.
I don't understand the play-in. Why not just do the regular season games and see where we finish?
Isn't that the play-in tournament in a sense?
I mean, I understand from the money standpoint, but I'm just if they're trying to sell us on practicality or whatever, I don't understand.
I think I do understand it, and maybe I can explain it this way. Well, first of all, it is money, right? The 8 games, that's what it's for. But here's the thing. I genuinely believe that if the season went on for 16 more games, which is what I think was about left, if it went on, I think New Orleans had a great chance of catching Memphis. They don't.
If you look at all the projections, New Orleans was going to pass Memphis.
Exactly. So in 8 games, that's not enough time to make up the 3.5 or whatever.
Sure.
So I think doing it this way is saying, hey, you didn't have any warning that the season was ending this way. This gives you an opportunity to fight for that, and even though it's going to be hard, it gives you an opportunity to get in there. And also, it just makes it interesting. I mean, let's be honest. The NBA wants this to be the most exciting, interesting 2.5 months of basketball that we've seen. And I got to tell you, I think it is. I think it's actually going to be, every game's going to matter, and that play-in tournament is going to be really freaking exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be exciting, but I still think it's weird, man. I just think it's weird.
I mean, it's an asterisk here. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
That's already. It seems too weird to wrap our brains around before it started, and that's before games are played without fans. It'll be weird, but I'll tell you that definitely makes me think the Nuggets have a chance. So
but also, cool. Yeah, isn't it weird that when you explain?
Question. Save that one for later, guy. Bring that back up when I.
Isn't it weird that when you explain a rule that they've come up with, you name a specific team that will benefit from it? Like, what are we talking? Like,
of course. Yeah.
So we are specifically putting this in for the Pelicans. Like, we're just calling this the Pelicans.
For Zion Williamson.
Okay.
For Zion Williamson.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, it is the Pelicans, but also Portland. To be honest with you, if people have been talking about can New Orleans catch him, Portland's right there too. So, Portland. Do we have the standings? I guess I can't remember if I pulled those up or not. But We can what just happened to the volume? Is echoing? Sorry. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So if we look at these standings here, not the East, but the Western Conference, Portland has just as good a chance as New Orleans does to sort of sneak into that spot. Sacramento. It's funny we don't even talk about Sacramento, but they're like right there.
How
Phoenix
are
is
they in
coming.
this thing?
I know.
The Suns.
though.
Don't even count the Suns out.
Sacramento's going to be healthy. Do we know like Bagley playing in this? I mean,
I don't know. Here's the thing, though. Portland right now has played 2 more games than Sacramento.
yeah.
This is the problem the NBA is going to run into. Like, what
No
if?
doubt, almost certainly.
Yeah, like, what are they going to do when Portland, at the end of this, has played like 82 games and Sacramento has only played 80? And Portland just
they
gets
might
in
win
because
this.
they racked 1 win when the regular season was going on, more than the Kings?
Maybe that's the reason for the play-in tournament, because of this like weird inequity thing.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be at least part of it. It is interesting here. Who do you guys think, first of all, if you look at that? So the other machination of this, I guess, is that the teams, and this was reported by Vincent Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. I'm not sure. It has not been confirmed, and it kind of doesn't fully make sense. So I think there's probably some missing pieces. But it sounds like teams will play out their remaining schedule and just skip the teams that are not invited. So like the Bulls and the Warriors and those teams, the Hawks. So if they're on your schedule, and I think Eric pulled this up for the Nuggets, you can just kind of see here Eric's version of it. Maybe I can manually overwrite it here. So the Bulls are crossed out, so the Nuggets are going to play. If it is true that this is how it would go, they'd play the Spurs, Lakers, Clippers, Raptors, Heat, Spurs, Thunder. I thought there was one more team. Was there not one more team on that list?
It's possible. I was under the gun while
Yeah.
making this graphic.
Well, they've got the Warriors and then the Bulls after the Thunder. So you'd skip those 2, and then you'd go to the Jazz.
So the Jazz
Ooh,
would
so
be
then
the
you'd
final.
have Utah. Ooh, Utah. Okay, that could be fun. So anyway, the teams, if the rest of those teams vying for the 8th seed, all of those games will really, really matter. They'll be really, really important. Let's first go back to this one here and just look at the standings, because I think this is most interesting. Who do you guys think comes out in the 8th seed? Memphis, Portland, New Orleans, Sacramento, San Antonio, or Phoenix?
I mean, we know it's going to be New Orleans. Come on.
For me, this is
Phoenix is in.
Somehow, some way, New Orleans is going to find a way to get this 8th seed. I am 100% confident in
this
that.
for me is a Nurkic question.
Ooh, that's a great one.
if
I love that
Nurkic
you
is-
purposely don't pronounce his name right.
Nurkic, whatever.
You know from
Screw him.
Jokic how to pronounce
Jerkic.
that. See, it's Nurkic.
Oh, no one watching this knows the correct pronunciation. There's no chance. I'm just kidding. They're all from that part of the world. But if he's back and they have Rodney Hood and they have all of their pieces in place, like Portland could absolutely sneak in. It would make me furious.
I agree.
I like Memphis. Screw the projections. I think Memphis is really talented. I also think projections are almost like, I don't know if this is blasphemy to the analytics heads, but like whatever the momentum was at, you know what I mean? All this different injury stuff, all the ways teams were playing, like there is sort of a great equalizer thing right now insofar as like, hey, we're just coming back and playing basketball in some neutral courts. So I look at talent. I like Memphis, man. I think that team's really good.
If we're talking about equalizers, I might go Portland, though, because just like if you're talking about who has the best players
Yeah, that's true.
out of these, like, 5 teams, like, who has the one guy that can
one.
win you a... Well, I mean, I don't know. Would you rather have Dame Lillard or Zion coming back in this? I might rather have Dame Lillard.
I'd rather have Dame right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you recall
I'd rather
a
have
gent named
Zion.
CJ McCollum, like his potential.
Yeah, if you just need to ride one guy out of, Memphis, Portland, New Orleans, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Phoenix, I'm riding Devin Booker. Or I'm not Devin Booker.
Wow.
I'm riding Damian Lillard.
Here's the truth, though.
That is
I
true.
mean, it's just like this is a fight to just get mauled by the Lakers.
Yeah, it is
So
true. But
if you're going to
who
look at
cares?
it with which team had a chance in hell of beating the Lakers, is it Portland just because of Dame? I mean, if
No.
No.
I think. I mean, I do. I think it is like if you get Portland to be back where they were last year, the team that beat us.
I don't think so. Well,
You don't
first of all,
think?
the team that beat Denver, I don't think was good either. It's just unfortunately Denver couldn't beat them. But the Lakers are really talented. They're really good. Who knows with this whole one thing in this is that it's going to be 4 months off. I think over 4 months by the time everything comes back. So who knows? Maybe the Lakers suck. I mean, it's entirely possible that they're just like they're vulnerable, and an 8 seed can upset them. But the truth is, I think I agree with Max Smith, who said earlier, the 8 seed is just going to get destroyed by the Lakers. But you know what? For some teams, that's the goal. And for Memphis and New Orleans and Sacramento, that's a huge goal for them. Think about the Nuggets.
Yeah, for sure.
3 years ago, the Nuggets were trying so hard to get into the 8 seed. They were getting smacked by the Warriors, but it was like, hey, man, that would be a great experience. Just want to get in. Just want to, it's an important step.
Oh, man. I just thought about something. Like, Portland sneaks in the year after they make the Western Conference Finals and just get absolutely waxed in the first round. Like, do they blow that team up?
It's best. I think it's best for Portland. Like, if you're trying to do like an objective, what's best for them in 3-4 years, it would probably be to miss, because I don't know. Like, they're not going to trade Dame, but you start to think about whatever moving on. Like, to go from your peak to such an nadir. I know there were a lot of injuries, but how can you be optimistic about upside with that core? And I don't mean to sound like biased or a hater, but I just think that's how the league's looking at Portland.
But
I'm probably
I think you have to look at all
for,
teams like Miami, because Miami was in the same boat where it was like, okay, they're good, they're not great, time to blow it up. They didn't, and now they're great again. Like, sometimes,
Right, that's true.
I think there is a bit of I think teams are coming out of the idea that you have to like trust a long-term process.
Blow it
Some
up
teams don't.
doesn't always mean rebuild, though, right? I mean, it could just mean what's the home run swing of a CJ trade to put more talent around Dame, trying something different, right?
One year of Giannis or something, like
Sure.
where you're just like, he's not going to stay here, but let's just go for it and see if Giannis and Lillard does
Sure.
something. Maybe, I don't know.
I'll be rooting for Memphis in this. I'll be going hard for the Grizzlies. They deserve it. They've done everything right. They've built their team right. They've had a nice year.
That's a great question.
I'll be
So,
rooting for Memphis.
Well said.
when we go to break, everybody, let me know who's everybody rooting for, because we know. I think we all kind of agree that those are the contenders, the like Memphis, Portland, New Orleans. But I wonder what people are actually like want to see. So share that with us. Well, the man with the wind in his hair reads an ad.
Yeah, hopefully I can get through this read already.
I'm
I'm going to get on the phone with Comcast.
the
after
delay
this
in his
show.
feed.
You look great right now.
Do I? I got a haircut
Yeah,
today.
coming in.
When am I going to get a compliment like this? Never once.
Good morning,
Clean
Stacks.
yourself
What do you think
up.
of Joker weight loss? I think he looks good. I heard he looks good. I mean,
You know,
Internet Explorer. What's going on? What is Netscape
What a
Navigator?
reference. Also,
Might not even know that one.
Shout out our YouTube users.
Yeah. No, it does not. No, it does not.
Oh, man. All right. MSU Denver Online puts a dynamic education at your fingertips. Oh,
Music
God.
might be too sexy. but
It's
that's
so
great.
smooth.
God damn it.
You know what else is sexy? Learning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Online.
Online.
Knocking out prerequisites, learning about something you didn't think you could learn about before, bettering yourself in times of trouble and strife, coming out on the other side a better person.
I was sitting here thinking about this. You could sign up with Metro State and take Dr. Travis Heath's class.
You absolutely could.
Yeah, great.
He mentioned
I'd
it.
love to be in Dr. Travis Heath's class. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, and all variety of other things. You could use this to start your path to any career that you've been thinking about. It's a good deal.
Even sports journalism.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
come take our jobs one day. Come take our jobs.
Please don't. I want this job. I worked very hard.
Also, guys, the Mile High City Copper Lager. We got it right here. I'm going to crack one of these bad boys open right now.
Don't talk about it, Abe.
Perfectly sexy for the Mile
yeah.
High City Copper Lager. Wow.
The commercial
Like-
is just Harrison drinking the beer. There it is. No
There it
words.
is.
I always found copper to be a kind of sexual adjective, like just descriptor.
It could be anything can be
Yeah.
with the right
Yeah.
context.
Win
Okay, I
has
guess
no clue what to
It
do.
really is the entire ad. Mile High City Copper Lager is delicious.
Hey, it's a great ad. To be honest, it was a great ad. All right, let's get into some Nuggets talk here. So let's pull up the Nuggets schedule here, because if this is a mostly complete, and then we'll add the Jazz on, I guess, at the end here.
You could
just go-
tell Eric was pressed with this graphic because of the line. The line.
Well, I was gonna,
Is that a purple line?
It's
Yeah,
effective, but it's just
yeah.
a purple line in the middle. of
yeah.
the
I mean, I've done better. I'll own it. But I did make this in very rapid.
Yeah. No.
I'm also on the
calling
show.
you out.
I got a lot of stuff going on.
Sorry.
All right, so let's just go line by line here. The Spurs. It's funny because there's only 22 teams in this, and they're all good. Like the worst team is going to be in this tournament is either Phoenix or Washington, which they're not. It's not a cakewalk. It's an easy one, but The Spurs
not
might be
good,
the
but-
third worst team left, and Denver gets them twice. So I saw a lot of people saying, like, my God, that's a murderer's row of teams. Like, yeah, they all are. It's only the good teams are going to be invited to this. The first one, though, the Spurs. How do we feel?
Oh, I was like, what's the question?
Fine.
It's a win.
Dude,
Come on,
I
guys.
have
It's
no-
the Spurs.
I have no clue how to.
It's a dub.
evaluate
That's
it,
dub
though.
time USA.
All right, but hold
That's
on
a
though.
dub.
However many games they've won and however good they are, which we all acknowledge, this year's Nuggets team, like, how on brand would laying an egg in Game 1 of this thing be?
It's not going to happen.
The most.
It's not going to happen.
The most
And
This
against
is-
the Spurs, like, I almost
This is
wanna
where they
book
start
it.
to feel. It starts to feel real now. Like the pressure's actually on. This is where
No,
we
even
see.
just this exercise. Even.
Yeah, but you could see the Nuggets like really starting to come together, like harden, like steel. So they wax the floor with the Spurs, no problem.
You just need Vlatko to tell Yoke that they really need these ones.
Yeah,
That's
man.
fine. That's fine. No,
Yeah,
it's
man.
probably a win. It's probably a
That's
win.
an absolute
Probably.
dub. That's one dub.
So I figured out where your screw up is. There's actually a Thunder game between Clippers and Raptors. So
Oh.
that's where your screw up is. That's fine. We'll go through. I'll add it in. You can just imagine. I think the Spurs is a win, though.
You know what? I can do this on the fly here. Let me fix this in
Oh
real
wow!
time.
What could go wrong?
We're gonna see a look at this. It's like a
It's
Pictionary,
yeah,
only with an
Pictionary,
actual
let's see.
graphic.
Let's see. Here.
I have a question for you guys. Could they have just done these 8 games as exhibition games and just gotten the regional TV dollars that way and not had like this weird 8-game schedule of games that count and just taken the seating as is?
I think I think you have a harder time selling to the public exhibition games with the safety concept. I mean, we're not idiots, we all know, but like I think they have to at least try to guise this under like some sort of competitive spirit thing. Maybe that's naive.
And I think it needed to be, man. Honestly, if you come back and play these games, but there's no point to them, like, I mean, come on, that's a recipe for disaster if all the games are basically exhibition. So it's funny. I see everybody online today was kind of complaining. There's a lot of complaints about this or that, and I was kind of like,
online.
they all kind of sucked. They were all somewhat interesting, but somewhat flawed, and this one is no different. So, yeah, look at it. Ever the professional, yes.
It feels good to be recognized every now and again, guys. You can take a hint from these commenters. A kind word goes a long way, guys.
I love that the Nuggets get the Lakers and Clippers in here, though, because those are the teams to beat in the West, and I just like that you get one game to size them up, and not that those are going to be super meaningful, because if they do make it to the second round of the actual playoffs, it would be like 6 weeks later than this.
Yeah.
But I still kind of like that they get a look at them and just some reference point. I think
I
that's
agree.
a good thing.
Yeah, like every team you play, obviously, like you've mentioned, is a playoff team. Like you are entering in a mini playoffs in that you see how you stack up against playoff teams exclusively. So it's good.
Don't the
So
Nuggets
then you
have a
got
lot
the Thunder-
to? I was just gonna say, don't the Nuggets have a lot to lose here in these 8 games because
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
They're
Let's
at
talk
the-
about that here in a second.
okay.
Because I want to pull up the standings here, but I want to go through these games and just kind of talk about like their odds. Because then they round out the first 4 games with the Thunder. I think Denver goes 2-2 in those first 4 games.
You want me to update the graphic?
Yeah, I think they lose both LA games.
So let's.
I mean, we have no idea.
This is a
man.
dub,
What
right?
are?
Okay.
Lakers. what are we saying on Lakers?
Let's say just another day in online with Eli.
Lakers will say.
I think it's an L.
I think it's an L.
on the
come
way
on, it's the
out.
Lakers. I mean, we'll see, but I think the Clippers is an L. The Clippers I'm actually concerned about the Clippers, guys. When they were healthy, they were dominant. Remember how good they were the last 2 weeks of the season?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
You know?
the ass whooping they put on the Nuggets.
Yeah, we
I remember that one very well.
Yeah.
You're getting a very rested Clippers team. And also, the Clippers-Nuggets matchup is going to be probably the single most important one for the Clippers because they win that one. It puts even more distance between them and the Nuggets. So that one's going to be – that might be the single most important game. And then you got the Thunder. I'm going to call the Thunder a dub. I think that's a
Okay.
dub.
I think I'll probably have to put that up here. That's associated with this.
You go down to Raptors. So then you get Raptors Heat. So you get 2 Eastern Conference ones in a
Oh,
row.
boy.
And then you get Spurs. Now, the Spurs, I think the Spurs will be eliminated from the playoffs at this point.
Oh,
They're
I forgot
already-
to factor this shit in. Yeah.
This second to last game of the regular season, they'll probably be more than 2 games out, in my opinion. I just think other teams are better.
Interesting.
I bet you that's a meaningless game for the Spurs and a very important one for Denver. That's
So it's a
dub.
loss for the Nuggets, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. It's a 25-point loss.
The
Spurs gave up in the middle of a winnable playoff series last year.
Oh,
so,
my God.
yeah, I do think.
Did you guys rewatch that the other? Somebody posted this is like a month ago, maybe the Nuggets
I
official
rewatched
account.
it.
The last like 2 minutes of the game, and I was just like, I forgot. They just stopped playing and didn't foul.
Straight
Yeah,
up.
Popovich is yelling at them for like a good 15 seconds to foul, and then he just gives up and drops his
And then
head.
he's just like, whatever, we're going
Yeah.
home. Jokic, even in that one, remember he holds the ball at half court, and then he kind of gives that look on his face, is like, do they not know they're down?
He gets
All right, I guess I'm
confused.
gonna
He's like, should I do something different?
Yeah, it was like the LeBron James with J.R. Smith photo, but it was Greg Popovich with his entire team.
Yeah, it really was.
Even the announcer, I can't remember which announcer it is. It's the guy that's always like super excited. I can't remember his name. Somebody help me in the comments. But he even is like, after the Nuggets like take a meaningless shot and the clock runs out, he goes, they miss, and that's going to be the end of the game. It's over.
Yeah. It happened so fast. I remember even being there watching it. We're like, wait, they're not fouling, and then it was just over.
Yeah.
Just like that. It was just done.
I was
It's
just
amazing.
waiting for LaMarcus Aldridge to be like, yeah, we weren't going to win the finals, so.
We just wasted everybody's time at a certain point. So what do we decide the Raptors were? We blew
Well, we
right
haven't
by them.
decided yet. And then they have the Thunder to end. So the
Decided.
Spurs one's definitely a dub. So you're really talking about the Raptors.
Okay, so
Heat,
Spurs is a
Thunder.
double dub against the
I'm
Spurs.
going to go. I think they go 3-1 down the stretch.
I think they
go
lose that
3-1.
Heat game.
I think they lose one of those two.
This
Raptors
is such
or
an
Heat.
unbelievably ridiculous exercise.
Yeah, it sure is. So how do we land on
This
the
is
Raptors?
just absurd.
So we
This is what
decide
happens when
on-
Adam gets one topic, and he's like, yeah, that's the show for
I
sure.
love it.
This is unreal.
Everybody's having fun here. We're talking.
I
about
like
losses.
this segment.
It's actual real basketball.
I love it.
5-3. Rock
5
it
and
in.
th-
5-3. The
So
Nuggets are
Adam
5-3.
says 5-3.
Can we set an over-under on 4.5
Yeah.
in this stretch on DraftKings?
Ooh. Brendan.
I think the line, because I actually went on the DNVR Bet Show, which everybody should be subscribed to. Check it out. Very, very funny and informative show. I set the line at 5.5, which I think you have to go 4.5 or 5.5. I think the Nuggets line is going to be 5.5.
Look at this goddamn graphic that
I would take the
we've
under,
had on
man.
screen for some time. It is unpleasant to look at.
This is as ridiculous as when you tried that 6 degree.
When did we try that? Oh, I remember that. That was such a bomb. So good.
So, I don't
shout
know.
out to you guys.
Where'd we land with those Raptors? Forgot.
That's a loss, baby.
That's an
All
L.
right, here's how we're just going to do. Are you going over or under? If I set the line at 5.5, vote, are you going over or under?
Under.
Wind?
Suspend your disbelief with the exercise. Harrison.
I'll go under. I'll say 5-3 also.
Okay, Eric?
5-3 feels pretty good, and that would actually be like a triumph, I think.
I think 5-3 gets to the 3 seed, which is where they are.
Yeah.
Which is what I think. That's kind of the important thing here.
Then what do we think happens to Houston? Is he?
Well, I think the team that falls here is Utah. I mean, Utah, of all the teams,
might
is like in the
nosedive.
most turmoil. They lost one of their leading scorers. I think the 3-seeded Nuggets.
Can we
take
do
on
that
the 6
exercise with all 8 of the playoff teams now?
Come on, D-line.
Okay, hold on. Let me make a few changes here.
Did you like the podcast before Adam and I started working here?
The good old days. No, I think Utah falls. If you look at this, Dallas is kind of too far back. I mean, they in theory could catch up. I just don't think they will. They're 4 games, so I don't think they'll make up that much ground. But I think Denver takes on Utah.
Oh my God.
You guys are so unenthused.
That would be
speculating.
amazing
Oh my
because
God. Is that possible? I'm not ready for that in the first
They'll
round.
smack them. Get out
I
of
think
here.
they
will
smack
the Jazz.
God smacked that team.
You
I'm
think so?
sorry if I
Destroy
offend
him.
anyone.
Without Boyan too, like, come on, man. First of all, the Nuggets
Turbulent
the Nuggets broke their backs with the 7 game, and Jokic just put up what was it, 30, 22, and 14 or something. Like, come
That's
on,
that's
man. They
the
would
end.
smack 'em.
I want to put a pin there, and I need like splits on Jokic's career against Gobert from that moment on. I guarantee
Yeah,
you. I guarantee you do not see Gobert post like a 4-block, 13 bullet. No.
Hasn't Jokic like dominated Nurkic since the one game where Nurkic had like almost a 5x5, and like since then the numbers are like insane.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be the same with Gobert. It's just like, okay, over the hump. That's no longer a problem.
Don't you guys think a bunch of teams are going to be positioning to play the Jazz? Like they're definitely the team you want outside of the 8 seed, right?
100%.
Why do you want them?
Blood in the water, man. They weren't.
Bogdanovich is out.
They
Oh,
lost
I
a key
forgot he was
scorer.
out.
Offense is a problem. It's going to be a lot of Donovan Mitchell running around.
Do you think they still have
doesn't even want to
internal
be
issues?
there
Ingles doesn't want
and might not be there?
Is that true?
Gobert, like, I don't know. Who
Ingles
knows what
came
his
out and
conditioning
said
is
that
like?
he
right
would.
now?
He said he would be perfectly content flying home and retiring.
Wow.
If-
Did he really say that?
I think
felt
that
unsafe or
quote
whatever,
was like
so.
2
Taken out of
months ago.
context,
2
yeah. I
months
think he
ago.
just meant like if his family's lives are at stake.
No, it wasn't taken out of context. No, he was being 100%. Yeah, and so who knows? Maybe 2 months he no longer feels that way or whatever. But yeah, who knows? I don't know. I like it. I think for Denver, that's actually how it's going to shake out. Now Denver could fall. Oklahoma City and Houston are not too far behind. What are they? 2 games, but 2 games in an 8-game sort of run is a lot. You beat Oklahoma City at least once. You don't play Houston again, but whatever. I think that works.
And I was just saying a second ago that I was just saying the Nuggets might have a lot to lose, but like maybe if they drop, they get the Thunder, or maybe Dallas rises and they get the Mavs. So maybe they don't have a lot to lose just as long as they get off of Houston.
Yeah, they need to get off of Houston. Absolutely.
We've talked about it so much for lack of anything else to talk about that I now need to see that series happen.
It is crazy because there's a good chance we will not see them at all.
I know. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, we have talked a lot about Jokic going, but can you imagine? I mean, we could get just absolutely ransacked.
True. Counterpoint, though. Please, universe, plant the seed in my mind that Jokic is better than Harden. I dare you. Give me an excuse.
Vote. Why don't we got a DM from Ear 1981 who says he has all of the schedules. We can go through. In fact, why don't we do that? Why don't we take a quick break here, Harrison?
Finally, someone's a professional here.
Yeah, somebody.
Wait, we're really gonna do this?
Yeah, just for you, Harrison.
We're actually gonna do this.
But
all right.
first,
here's
a read as a treat.
Well, for this next segment, I'm definitely gonna have to pour a cup of Strava Craft coffee. That's for sure.
Why?
You guys
CBD,
can get
man,
it
it's
for
not whiskey.
20% off when you use the code DNVR20 at StravaCraftCoffee.com. Packed with CBD. Hopefully, we get it at the DNVR bar pretty soon. That would be sweet. Just have some cold brew Strava Craft coffee on tap. But check it out.
Coffee at the bar guy.
Did you know that people drink?
Strong move.
Did you know that people drink coffee hot? Who does that?
I drink coffee hot in the winter, cool in the summer.
I'm cold every day of the year. I drink cold coffee every day of the year.
That's red flag behavior, bro.
Is it? Okay, well.
Red flag.
For me and my friends. I don't know about other people.
Also, guys, make sure you subscribe to the DNVR Raptors podcast with Colton Strickler. And check out some of the DNVR watches we do for Raptors games on the weekends. Those are a lot of fun. Fun to get everybody together tweeting about the same thing when we don't have a lot of sports going on. So follow them on Twitter, DNVR_Raptors. Check out the DNVR Raptors podcast. And yeah, follow along for DNVR watches for Raptors games on the weekends.
I was just reading Vote's message that made me laugh.
I just do what I'm told.
Do you have Vote? Did you see the other schedules? I guess we don't have to go.
Oh, you wanted me to pull some?
Just,
Dude, you have to give me explicit instructions, Adam.
What do you have, Guy?
I just quickly want to point out that I actually pulled all this up and Ear beat me to it, but
Okay,
I got some other stuff for you too here if you want. We were
Pull it
talking
up.
earlier.
Shoot them at us. I actually would like a segment of just Guy throwing random things.
If you want, I can, man.
All right,
I'm
let's
telling
do
you,
it.
because I also have the season records for Portland, Memphis, New Orleans, Sacramento, and San Antonio against the Lakers, so that you could use that as sort of a guide to
Let me
what
guess,
would
not
happen.
great.
Yeah. So Portland is 1-2, Memphis 1-2, and then after that, New Orleans 0-4, Sacramento 0-2, San Antonio 0-3. So it wouldn't look pretty for anyone, but if you go by that, the best chances would be for Portland and Memphis.
I don't go by that though, to be honest.
Well, I mean, other than that, you're
was
just
pretty
going
smooth, though, guy. Like,
pure
that was
conjecture.
very
Yeah.
I'm just trying to add some sort of facts here. So
No, it worked. That's good.
I don't want that. Let's go more conjecture. I'll make another graphic.
Pure conjecture.
Eric,
All
the
right. Well, here you go.
castle on our shoulders.
This is the Jazz remaining schedule right here. So
The Jazz are going to lose every game. Like,
I was
look at
gonna
this.
say-
Wow, that's a
they got
little.
the
Until the
Lakers
Jazz
twice.
prove me
They got the
otherwise.
Clippers.
Oh yeah, they have the Lakers.
But then they
in
get the
first
Spurs
five.
twice.
Yeah.
Ooh, they do get the Spurs at the very end. When the
Atlanta,
Spurs don't
Chicago,
care, but-
Cleveland, those
yeah.
all get cut. But they
Yeah.
got to play Oklahoma City, who's going to be that's going
Why
to be a tough
wouldn't the
one.
league just make up a new schedule? Like, am I overthinking this? Why wouldn't they just make up a new schedule?
I think they're trying to like make the facade of fairness as much as possible. So it's not because if they make up a schedule,
But we're like
and New
skipping
Orleans,
over teams.
if they make up a schedule and it's like New Orleans, I saw Fast Break Breakfast was joking. Oh, New Orleans has the Wizards 8 times. Like, they don't want to do that. Where somebody comes out and is like, "Look at how much easier their schedule is than everyone else's." So just follow this.
Plus, then they'd have to
I
remember
guess.
to do the Nugget schedule, and that's always
Oh
tough
man,
for them.
that's a rough time. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, I guess I see that.
I think they go loss, win, loss. That's how I predict. So I think they go 2-6.
So are you thinking that San Antonio won't win a single game?
San Antonio might go over. You're right.
Let me ask you guys this: how excited are you going to be to watch San Antonio against Sacramento?
Well, I'm not going to.
No, I would. No, I would if it's early enough.
It's sports,
that,
man. It's back.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I'll
it's
take
sports,
any of
it's
it.
back.
I'm watching anything.
I
Just
watched
inject
Tom
it
Brady play
right
golf,
into
and
my
it's the
veins.
best thing I did in my life.
No, man. The Kings are a more fun team than they are good, and B, it's just the idea that something's back. You guys.
I stand. Hey man, can I stand for the Kings here? I
Stand.
think the Kings are somewhat compelling. They're somewhat compelling. So
It does feel like they slipped. They had all this organizational momentum, and they really slipped and fell on their faces this year.
Yeah.
And now there's this like sliver of a path back to like positive momentum and redemption for them, right? If they finish on a high note, maybe whatever they're building can still be sort of salvaged.
I've got big hype for the Grizzlies personally. After watching
their
that grit and
schedule up.
grind just
Yeah,
kind
that's-
of crash, and then now watching them come back with Ja Morant, I'm pretty excited for that team.
I mean, the Grizzlies are my side piece team.
High key fun. High key.
they're
fun,
my
that
side
team.
piece team too, man. We have this, actually I like.
I can't have a side piece team in the same division. Or
You
same
are such a.
conference.
Oh, okay.
I can't do it. Sorry.
gonna
It's
say
like
you're a
my
monogamous
two teams
NBA
could run
player.
into each other at the grocery store. It's awkward.
It is always awkward.
Oh yeah, Rashawn Holmes, who also kills the Nuggets on the
It's
Kings.
true. I'm telling you, Sacramento's sneaky tough matchup for Denver. Thankfully, they don't have to play him.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Memphis.
This
so
is a
they
tough
have
schedule.
Portland, Utah. Oh, Utah, they win. San Antonio, they win.
Of course, because San
they
Antonio
lose.
again wins no
Milwaukee.
games.
Here's the thing:
Look
Is
at
this
all
the
these
first
fans.
Eastern Conference team on one of these schedules?
Well, the Nuggets
Yeah, I
one
think
had a
so.
couple, but Milwaukee might not have anything to play for. The sneaky thing that nobody's talking about is the Lakers and
Oh, yeah,
Bucks
the Nuggets.
both have their conferences wrapped up, so these games are really just tune-ups for
The
them.
Bucks kind of don't know how to do that though. They play at 100
true.
all the time.
That's true.
Except they lost to the Nuggets twice this season doing just that.
Well,
the Nuggets are good.
they may have lost, but I'm just saying, like Giannis, like kind of accidentally does the Harden thing.
So
He
how
just
did
can't
I
help
not?
himself.
Yeah, how did I not notice that they play New Orleans back to back at the end of the schedule? That's great. So there's a scenario where they're going to play New Orleans back to back and then be in a play-in game with New Orleans.
To
What if-
play and then potentially
they
back
might
to
end up
back
playing
again.
4 games in a row or almost. in
Yeah,
a
that's
row.
just like a pre.
Back to back against Toronto too, with Boston in there. They both have something to play
Yeah,
for.
it's a pre-playoff series.
Yeah, Toronto might not by that point. I think Toronto's up a little bit, so that maybe they can create enough separation. But
Do the Lakers
tough
have
schedule.
enough leeway that they don't care enough
I
for
think
these
so.
games?
Yeah, they're up 5.5 games, so they just got to take care of business in like the first 3, and then they're good.
Oh, the Nuggets play them.
So they'll destroy the Nuggets, and then they will rest Anthony Davis.
Yes, they really truly have no reason to even try in these games.
Same with the Bucks.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing. They don't. Home court doesn't mean anything. It's a neutral court. I mean, they get to play a lesser team, but every team is lesser. So, what are they doing here?
Let's pull up now, guy. Let's pull up New Orleans schedule. Let's just do New Orleans and Portland because I think those are the only ones that I think are truly compelling here. But and then I want to talk about some of the things Dave McMenamin was reporting about trying to make the conferences fair. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, I can't wait
Or
for that.
the first seed. They're trying to we want the first seed to have a proper advantage. We don't want to lose that. But first, let's walk through these. Actually, while I pull this up, Vote, why don't you walk through these?
What?
Here, I got you, dude. Play against the
Sweet, guy.
Kings,
Thank
that's
you.
a dub. Utah, dub. Clippers, oh, that's rough. That's a loss. Don't have to play Atlanta. San Antonio, by the way, we've been talking about them. That's an easy dub right there. Memphis, that's actually a game that I'd really like to watch. Zion versus Ja, that's rookie of the year.
Is this
vibes.
New Orleans' schedule?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Look at this
Yeah.
cakewalk.
This is cakewalk, dude.
Look
Yeah.
at this
This is
cake.
rough, man. But 2 games against Memphis, separated by 1 against Sacramento. Those are both with Ja and with Zion, and you're talking rookie of the year.
Yeah,
I think
that
those
is-
are both really good games
This
to
is
watch.
suspiciously easy.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to play New York, Orlando, Atlanta.
So
The
There's
only
Harrison's
2
and Slade
teams they
Washington,
play
that's
that are currently in the playoffs are Utah and the Clippers, and then
Yeah,
Memphis, of
basically.
course.
Harrison, you asked why they didn't change the schedule because they couldn't have drawn up a better one.
Oh my
knew it.
gosh.
Oh, we have to go with the regular schedule. We have to stick by the schedule.
I mean, do we care? I hope that Zion gets in and then just gets
Yeah,
waxed.
no, that'd be
gets
fun.
waxed by the Lakers.
We
I'm
were-
fine with that.
We were robbed of the front end of this season, so I'll feel free to just shoehorn.
yeah,
some more
whatever.
in there. I'll take
Let's make it
yeah.
interesting. Who
Yeah,
cares?
hot take. I think Zion's less exciting to watch than John Morant, but that's just me.
Wow, you really are a John Morant
Wow, I
stan.
love guys.
Big,
man.
big. I'm getting
I love
the
these.
chest
They're terrible,
tattoo
but
right
that's a
here,
good
John
game.
Morant's face.
Wow.
It seems.
The
No, you know
fellow
what? Do
skinny
it. I like
guys.
that.
Skinny guys stick together, isn't it? That's how it works.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it would be awesome if you got.
It's D Rose before D Rose got hurt, man. I'm paranoid that Ja's gonna get hurt, so I'm enjoying him
probably
while he
will.
lasts because the
Yeah.
way he plays is
Yeah,
just
that's a
balls
good
out,
point.
man. He is gonna wreck himself, but while it lasts, it's so entertaining.
He does do that thing where it feels like he jumps a little bit longer, like he keeps going up for longer than you expect. Go to Portland's schedule. Let's see
Yeah,
their
he's
last one. So we all
completely
agree New
reckless when
Orleans
he
is now
jumps,
in the
man.
drivers. What if New Orleans somehow overtook the 8 seed and it only had to win once, and then lost both of them to Memphis? That's how I want this to play out. That'd be a great ending. The irony, the twists, the turns.
Where are we here?
You're at the Jazz.
Oh boy,
Yeah, you really got
Oh,
lost
boy.
here.
What is going on
guy. Wow.
there we go.
This,
He made
this,
his point
this,
about John
I
Morant.
did it
He just
now.
fell
this
off.
show is really held together by tape at a certain point.
So they have a regular Houston, Dallas. I guess that's not too tough. Boston, Philly. Man, Philadelphia and Utah. Those are the 2 that I just predict crash and burn on this one.
Gosh, yeah.
They got
I mean,
Brooklyn, so they have an easy schedule too, guys. Wow, Portland,
Who the hell did they even have to play?
Utah, Memphis. I
got
mean, they have
Dallas.
the big. They have the big games.
Portland will find a way to go 500 though. Like they're not. They're just this Portland team
Snatching
like,
defeat
loses
from
games.
the jaws of victory.
Yeah, this Portland team. I don't know. I mean, I guess Dame time or whatever, but Dame was
I like
also like
Dame
prepared to
time
not
or
play 2
whatever.
weeks ago. you
My
know?
favorite thing is
It's
those
Really short-term
absolutely
memory, man.
not believing in Damian Lillard. It's my favorite thing.
He's really good, but we already know exactly how good Damian Lillard is. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
people
and you
pretend
can
he's
you can
better. Just
absolutely scheme him into the ground if you do it right.
I'm like, this is blasphemy.
Nuggets
He's
couldn't do it
incredible,
last year.
but I still I stand by it.
What'd you say, Guy?
Nuggets couldn't do it last year.
They
They
absolutely
stopped
did.
it. They
That's the one
stopped
thing they
Lillard.
did
They,
well.
they
yeah.
schemed
stopped
Dame right
Lillard.
out.
We got somebody in the chat here. Let's bring them up. Oh, did they just leave? We just had a Coop Q. I don't know
No,
what
he's
happened
here.
to him.
He's in
Oh,
there.
he is there. Can we bring Coop? I think it's Coop Q on. Coop, what's happening, man?
What's up, boys?
Let's
Six
go.
box.
What's up?
Oh my god, I look like an adult.
Yeah, man.
Great, by comparison, you are just.
You don't get to make that claim, Guy.
I don't? Why not?
To
I still
you,
look
you
like
look
a
like an
kid.
adult. You still look like an adult child to the rest of us.
The
Coop, am I saying this right? It's Coop, right?
Yeah, Cooper.
Okay.
How
Coop,
else
that's
would
what
you
said.
pronounce
I
that?
know. Is it Coop?
It was a tough question,
Silent
but I just
P.
wanted to
Russian,
make sure I was
get
getting
right.
it right. So Coop, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Denver, and you
Yes.
might recognize my father. This is Phil.
What's up? Phil Q.
Yeah.
Phil Q.
I'm Phil too.
All right.
Coop
That's awesome.
Q.
So you're gonna have to beat his record then. I mean, now the pressure's on
I mean,
you.
as long as they do better than 2, I'm happy.
let's go.
Yeah, that's really the bar
He
here.
is word. But before we go there, guys, I want to pull up this ridiculous sort of. So there is, of course. How do I do this? Oh, there it is. There's of course no home court. Everybody's at Disney World. There's nobody can leave, and so some people, and I'm guessing it's LeBron James and maybe nobody else, is complaining that they need to do something to give proper advantage to the top seeds, which I understand a little bit, even though it's one of those things where it's like there's enough going on in the world. Let's not complain about this. But look at how ridiculous some of these proposals that are being talked. This is reported on ESPN by Dave McMenamin. The higher seeded team being awarded first possession of the second, third, and fourth quarters.
That's not
ridiculous.
bad. That's not
really?
bad.
You get 2 more possessions in a game.
Bad.
I feel like that's like a really basketball can come down to possessions, man. Like
it always does.
To just God gift possessions to
2
a team
possessions
feels like really pushing the needle a certain way.
Coop, thumbs up or thumbs down to that proposal?
I'm gonna go thumbs down. Those are very oddly specific.
There you go, Coop.
Yeah.
There you go, Coop. He's my
The
man.
higher
That Coop.
seeded team being allowed to designate one player to be able to be whistled for 7 fouls.
I love this one.
instead of 6.
And I wonder
came
which
up with
player that would be.
Did the 76ers maybe come up with that also?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go 2 thumbs down on this
This one's terrible.
Yeah.
This one cannot happen.
That was
absolute-
clutch. That was clutch.
Maybe you get like
That
an
was-
invincibility star, and you like in Mario, you can just foul as many times as you want the entire game.
It's like, you're a
comes with
flagrant
For one
and
player.
downgraded to a regular foul at least once per quarter. Like what? What are we doing here?
You can punch the other
Thumbs
team
up,
in the
thumbs
mouth.
down.
Yeah, yeah, and you get a punch
you're the
card.
final vote.
Best to you, Coop.
Coop, you're the final vote. Thumbs up
Thumbs
or
down.
2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. He's 2 for 2.
He's
right
the voice
now.
of reason here.
He is the voice of Rita. The higher seeded team, this one's really the higher seeded team receiving an extra coaches challenge.
Dude,
Michael
What,
Malone.
just to get the coach's challenge denied? Like,
Yeah, for real. Also, is this what we really need? More coaches challenges?
No.
I mean,
coaches
of these proposals, like this is the one I'm like, okay, fine. Like, who cares?
I will laugh out loud though, and if the heat of an NBA playoff game, they have to bust out that little green light that they won at Funplex.
They're going to do it.
Loud.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
gonna do it.
The higher seeded teams being able to transport their actual hardwood home
Stupidest
court
one
from the
ever.
arenas to Orlando to try to preserve the feel of the home playing experience.
Now
Can I
it feels
say
like
something?
Fast Break Breakfast made this list as satire.
Yeah, this is
where-
So true.
this is complete. You're into
thumbs
this.
up.
Do you
I'm
know?
into it.
Do you know that when you buy hardwood floors for your home, you have to let them sit in your home in the package for like a week, so that it adjusts to the humidity. Otherwise,
No,
it'll warp.
I had no
That's
idea.
true. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You guys all live in apartments. Anyway, they're just gonna bring it down, and all these floors are gonna warp.
You know what I want though? Well, maybe they can just paint new ones or something that are already down there. I don't know. But here's what I want. I wasn't even thinking about this, but yeah, what's the floor gonna say? Disney World? That'll suck. I want it to say whoever's team. I think that's kind of cool if it says Nuggets or Lakers or whatever. Coop, you're the final vote on this. Thumbs up or thumbs down on this?
Oh, thumbs down.
You don't
He's
need
a
that.
realist. He's a
You can plan
realist.
whatever
Adam.
score you want.
You don't
Yeah.
need it, but you want it. It's cool. I guess I'm
I
on
don't-
an island on this one.
Sprinkle
That's a
another
detail.
one.
The second the game starts, that's a detail that no one thinks about or cares about.
That's so
or ever
true.
remembers.
An off-court feature in which playoff teams, in order of seeding 1 through 16, receive first choice on picking which hotel they will stay at.
A
Wow.
plus.
Wow.
A plus. What a little petty slight advantage. If
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
awesome.
LeBron feel better.
They get like a bigger slice of cake.
Coop gives it the thumbs up. I'm giving it
Oh,
the
yeah.
thumbs up too. I want to increase as much petty as we can. I want the higher seed to get like 12 superficial petty decisions, like
Dude,
what the meal is the night before
Yeah.
for both teams.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
thought the Bucks were going to play hard before, wait till someone tells Robin Lopez they might be able to pick the Polynesian. He's going to lose his shit.
Or that they're gonna be like the higher seeded team gets to choose all of the meals for
Exactly.
the lower seeded team.
The music in the arena, like just stuff that doesn't actually matter, but you can kind of just try to mess
They
with
get to
them on it.
change the names on the back of their jerseys to whatever they want.
no, the higher seeded team gets the nighttime time slot for boat rentals at the Coronado Springs Lagoon.
So romantic.
Jokic just pissed off that he doesn't get the boat rental he wants.
Yeah, right.
He's in the
Yeah.
small little paddle boat.
Jokic,
If you're the 8 seed like the Grizzlies, you have to have the 7 a.m. tea time.
Could you
Jokic, it's your
imagine,
first
though-
time at Disney World. I wanted to go on the paddle boats, but
Could you imagine though, like you make it through the whole season, you get here and you're like, "This is what it was all worth it, boy. This is why we did it. so we could pick here at the Frontier Motel. This is the top hotel, and we did.
Let's go win that ring, baby.
Yeah, we did. We did it.
Grinded through October and November. And
They have the mini bar here. Can't be beat. It's
Training
incredible.
camp. I don't remember where it was, but we did that at one point.
all right, well, Coop, because you're in the driver's seat, I'm just going to hit this button here. This is what you're playing for. This week it's the Mile High City Copper Lager Week here on the steps, and so you have all of this awesome stuff that you will go home with. There's no more risking what you get. If you get 5 right, you get an item. If you get 10 right, you get 2. If you get 15, go for it, guy. You can go for it. I guess I'm confusing you. There you go. Look at this beautiful thing, the Rover.
Yeah, that's like one of those like refrigerators that is pretending to be.
You roll up to a barbecue with that cooler, you're the freaking man.
I win the
Look at
barbecue.
drip.
You do. You win the barbecue.
You're the man.
You win the barbecue.
I feel like an
Chicks
old man
love
because we
coolers,
showed
too.
that awesome cooler, and Coop's just like, dude, I
Yeah,
don't use cooler.
I also want to make sure that you understand on the graphic, you cannot choose the prize on the left, which is the alcoholic beverage. You need to be 21 years of age.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, this is
Full
weird
as
to
a
be
company.
that is not a prize you can have.
all right, so you know how this goes. Are you ready to climb the steps?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh baby.
Let's start the nervous music.
Oh, man, I'm gonna laugh so hard if he's out on 2.
I cannot wait.
Just switch the questions.
Who
Yeah.
won the 2019 NBA championship?
Ooh. That would be the Toronto Raptors.
That is correct.
Ooh.
By the
One
way,
for one.
you sound just like your dad.
Wait, who's my helper?
Oh yeah.
that's
That's a
true.
good
man,
question.
that's a
Who do
good
you want to be your helper?
Did you
Yeah.
Phil?
Oh yeah.
Phil. And
Yeah,
Guy.
it's Phil.
No, I want
I don't know
Phil.
if you want it.
Definitely make
He doesn't
it
want
probably
Guy.
A father-son
I
battle.
want
here.
Guy, I want Phil.
Yeah.
All right, Phil.
Number 2.
Phil's got to be in. We need to be able to see Phil in his eyes.
We
yeah,
also
you
switch
can't-
it up
you
today a
can't
little
Google it.
bit. We've got NBA trivia, general NBA trivia until the
Okay,
time.
all right, all right.
Yeah. All right, what are we on? 2? Yep, number 2.
Yeah, we just
What
started.
team did Kevin Durant join in 2016 after blowing a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference
that's great.
Finals?
That would be the Brooklyn Nets.
Wait, no, what? Hold
No,
on.
Golden State Warriors.
Ask your advisor.
Wow, turmoil at home.
Nets was later. It's Warriors.
Phil coming
In
in from the top.
2016, in 2016,
16 years.
There's turmoil in the Q household.
did you get it right? Did we get this right?
I don't know.
Yeah, Phil came in and said Warriors.
Okay, save the day. All right, number 3. Name the member of the Boston Celtics' Big Three. You remember this from back in 2008?
Name any member. That's the
All
question.
3.
Oh, all 3.
Oh baby,
All three.
it's not the big one.
KG.
He's on TV. He talks a lot. He's got a lot
Paul
of
Pierce.
Yeah. And
IT.
No. He was a great shooter. Made that shot in the corner for the Heat.
Oh,
Ray Allen.
Ray. Yeah, Ray Allen.
That's nice. That is
There it
correct.
is.
The Q
Phil
team
and
cannot
Coop,
be
I don't care about
stopped.
the Celtics.
Dynamic duo. Number 4. Which team traded James Harden to the Rockets in 2012?
That would be. Was it the Thunder? Thunder was earlier when Harden was on Thunder.
No, I don't think he was on anybody before the Rockets. Other than Thunder.
Yeah, it was
right.
Thunder.
That is correct.
Oh
Team,
baby.
the teamwork is working here.
Man,
All
you're
right,
asking
number
questions
5.
about when he was like 9 years old. That's
Yeah, we don't
I
care.
know.
We don't care, Phil. We'll do it as we please.
Dude, that's so true. When I was 9, I had no clue what was going on.
It's so crazy to me because this feels like yesterday. So
I
it's
know,
really
I know.
weird
That was
just
my
like years
first
ago.
I'm old moment.
Yeah,
just
these are
now.
these are the steps, not the elevator. All right, you got to answer these questions.
Never say that again. Number 5, for a prize. How many championships, NBA championships, did Michael Jordan win?
You just watch that.
Of course. 6.
That is correct.
Oh, baby.
Congratulations. But there's no need to stop because there's no point. You keep going. We'll figure out your prize here in a minute.
What
So
would
number
you have
6. Who did the Warriors sweep in the 2019 Western Conference Finals?
Last year. Yeah. Who beat us? It was the Cavs? Who beat the Nuggets? Remember when I went outside? I was really angry.
Remember when Daddy said that all those adult words?
Dang, man. Oh, it's Blazers.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Number 7.
I don't know that.
These are really easy, Harrison. Who won the MVP of the 2019 regular season? It's last year.
Ooh, Giannis.
That is correct. That is correct. Number 8. When the Golden State Warriors set the record for regular season wins in 2016, how many wins did they finish with?
Ooh. I think it was 72. Yeah, I don't know this one. I think it was 72.
Out of here!
Oh, God.
73.
Unbelievable.
Hey, remember that time when he didn't want my help? Come on.
Guy,
Did you know that one,
don't,
guy?
Don't bully the child.
Oh, I definitely did.
Coop,
I'm
stay on the
bullying
line,
my
though,
own
'cause you did
people
win.
here.
Stay on the line there, Coop, because you did win one prize, and we'll just here in a second. I'll get your info so we can mail that to you. But that's it for today's show. It was a fun one because there's actually meat to talk about,
Basketball.
some meady information to talk about. So
Yeah, Harrison loved it.
See what they have, Harrison? Real basketball? Come on.
I had a great time on today's show for what I was a part of it for. For the
Yeah,
couple
you were kind of
segments
in
I
and
was
out
on.
all show, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in and participating. Everybody, the comment section was popping today, and that was a lot of fun. Don't forget, go to YouTube. You guys are watching these on our Periscope. We appreciate it, but go to YouTube. We want everybody to subscribe. I put up my Jokic video from a while back where it was for subscribers only, like a month ago. I just made that to everybody. Oh, wind greater than wind force. I agree. Guy is petty for sure. He's the pettiest.
The best part is that Guy put that up.
Everybody go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, like our videos or whatever else. We're trying to bolster that, pump it up, and get it ready for when the NBA returns. But everybody else, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be back again tomorrow. What's tomorrow, Thursday?
Yeah.
It is Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow then at our regular time. Good night, everyone. That was fun. That was good.
Above average show.